All right, y'all. So let's talk about this. So, if you don't know by now, Keyshawn Davis has basically stepped on a fucking nail barefoot. He's already pretty much did this to himself as far as I'm concerned when he, started this nonsense, jumping out of Jeeps, hollering Debo, Debo, pretending he wanted to fight against Devin Haney because we already knew that this is not how you negotiate deals. All that is propaganda because a lot of you simps will sit there and do exactly what y'all did in the comment sections. Yo, I like this nigga. Yo, this nigga funny as hell, yo. I like this nigga. See, Keyshawn Davis is, doing what a huge percentage of these fighters do in this era. I am going to call out the name of a fighter that has a respectable resume and that has went out here and put this work in. I don't want to put that work in, but what I want to do, I'm not as accomplished as you, but I'm going to run my mouth and do little, goofball type of antics to try to get myself to be as popular as you. So therefore, without me putting the work in, you could be 30-0. I could be 15, 16-0. And I'm going to use that as an excuse too. I ain't got that many fights. I'm still growing. I'm still right, but you got a big mouth. Yeah, this is what they're doing. So without me having to put the work in, there's a demand for me. Why? Because people like my bullshit. They like my antics. They like when I'm doing these little stupid videos. This is the route that they're going now. So this is why now you got podcasters and YouTubers and everybody else thinking that they're a boxer. They don't respect boxing. They don't care about the legacy of boxing. They don't care about promoting and pushing the sport and upholding the sport. They don't care about making the sport strong. All they care about is if they can make money off it. And I'm telling you, if boxing becomes one of those sports that one day people are going, damn man, hey, what happened to the big fights? Like there's nothing going on in boxing anymore. Right? There's nothing really happening. There's in boxing as we know it just winds up fading off to the point where the money's no longer worth it. The money's just no longer there. No, don't think it can't happen. Don't think it can't happen. And if that ever happens, you can point back to these goofy times right here as the beginning of the end. These fighters want to make as much noise as possible, put themselves in a position where there's a demand for them. People want to see them. Not because of what they do in the ring so much, but because of everything outside of the ring. Key moments for Keyshawn Davis was him saying that night that they got 10,000 people in there, I told you, he started feeling himself too much. And he said, I don't need Tank Davis. I just want to fight him. So right then and there, you know what? I can run my mouth and I can talk trash and people going to want to see me because they're going to find me exciting. Now he goes in the ring. Let's just be real and let's say this. We was rocking with Keyshawn Davis. Now Keyshawn has had some good performances, right? He has never had an outstanding performance, an excellent performance. He has never had this dude is, this was just a 5-star masterclass of boxing. No, he's had good performances and he's, had some fights where he showed his composure, showed, his professionalism in the ring and he got some, fights won. You look back at his career right now. If he retired right now, you want to know the conclusion that the realist would understand? Well, he got a lot more work to do before you start talking about great. Okay? Everybody think they're a great fighter now. Everybody think that they're a Hall of Famer. They think that they're a pound for pound, all-time great. Everybody just think I don't have to put the work in. If I promote myself right, market myself right, and put myself in that position, I won't have to fight these top fighters. I won't have to. And then I could run my mouth regardless to whatever, whether I, in my career, 25-0, 30-0, 27-0. Bottom line is, I can walk away and say nobody beat me and look at all the money I made. We can't box forever. I don't know when my time going to come where, hey, I can't do this no more, but I want to secure this money. And let's be real. I'm going to tell you what I think. I don't think he ever wanted to fight Tank Davis. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think was happening. I think he knew. Tank already said, man, shit, hey, look at the fighters Tank Davis did this to. Man, he ain't did nothing. Fight him for what? Right? And he picks Lamont Roach over Shakur. He picks Lamont Roach over Keyshawn Davis. He picks Lamont Roach over, other fighters that was out there, right? And nobody was looking at Lamont Roach like he's one of those guys. Nobody expected Lamont Roach to even survive, right? Keyshawn knowing it is nothing. I could talk about Tank Mama. He ain't going to fight me. He did all of that clout chasing to try to build himself up. I strongly believe if Tank would have said, you know what, let's go. You got a big mouth. I'm sending the contract. Let's go. I believe he would have found a way to weasel out of that fight too. And he probably would have used the money because he would have been using, this is what I believe he would have did. I just put 10,000 people in there. Not we, me, Abdullah Mason, my brother, no, but I just put 10,000 people in here, right? I don't need you. I did it without a huge name opponent. You can only do this with another big name opponent. Now let's start trying to play the Jedi mind tricks on the fans, right? On the public, right? This is what I believe he would have did. He would have found a way to try to weasel out the fight. Now it's Keyshawn Davis fans running their mouth versus Tank Davis fans running their mouth. And bottom line, I think the fight never happens. We know that he never wanted to fight Thanos. Nah. Devin Thanos Haney? Nah, he didn't want to fight him. See, when he jumped out that Jeep, Debo, where was all that? Yo, why you calling this man Debo? He ain't did this and that. He ain't did, no, y'all thought it was entertaining. He did, and I told you, all these goofy antics, right? I see what he's doing, but like I told you, I'm not really into all that. I don't respect that. That is all of the goofy shit. You see, if Keyshawn Davis really wanted to fight Thanos, if he really wanted to fight Thanos, he would have been trying to get that fight. He would have been trying to get that fight. The second that he saw that Shakur wasn't trying to do nothing with him, because they was, if you want to look at the pecking order, so-called, that so-called pecking order, if you look at that and you think there's no reason, and there's no reason why Shakur can't fight Devin. Here's my thing. Why do you start using weight as an example? When you already knew, here's the deal. It's as simple as this. What about Devin? Devin, he's a good fighter. He's not on my level. He ain't on my, but Devin's boring. Excuses. Now you hear Devin say, yeah, I'm thinking about going up because this weight, it's hard for me to keep making 135. And it's really hard. If the right situation happens, I'm trying to stay. And he did that with Lomachenko. Right? Stayed just to make that fight. But now you hear him saying, I'm definitely, this is going to be my last fight at 135. I can't just keep making this weight. It's draining me. It's draining me. I've outgrown the weight. Now all of a sudden, hell yeah, I'll fight Devin Haney. I'll fight Devin Haney. It's no problem. Oh, now that he's leaving the division, you'll fight him. Now let's start talking and trying to make it seem like you really want the fight. People seem to forget, okay? Shakur already rejected the offer to fight Thanos. But now, see, Shakur beats Teofimo. Now he's going into diva mode. The same way Teofimo went into diva mode. And all of these fighters just think, okay, I don't need him now. Now there's a demand for my name. I can go here and fight Orville Redenbacher. My fans going to come see me because it's me. It's not about my opponent. This is where they try to position people. I told y'all, look at over there at MVP with Alicia Baumgartner. This is what they try to do with her. If you look at Alicia Baumgartner, look at anybody else, she promotes herself, right, on her own platforms and all with the sex appeal, right? She talk trash about who? A woman that's not even in her weight class. Got the taste slapped out of her mouth and still won't fight her. But she's the one acting like she wants the fight. Let's put her, but look, 3 straight bum-ass fighters. 3 back-to-back. Look, let's just be real. That chick Bo is just known for being tough, coming forward, and can take punishment. She's not a highly skilled, great fighter. Delphine Persoon, way past her prime, came in there with a big-ass knee brace on. And then another chick that just went there and ran all night. I mean, everything. All this motherfucker has done is fought a bunch of wishy-washy ass fucking CD level fighters. She ain't fighting nobody. Yet, people are putting her name in the same conversation with Clarissa because of an incident. Not because of what she does in the ring, who she done it against. She can't even fucking sell tickets. But let's put her in a position to where I'm in a gorilla position now. Everything goes through me. I'm not in the same weight class as Shields. I never had any intentions on fighting Shields, but I'm using her name to pretend to clout chase. And it's not working. The only thing that's happening is people who just hate Clarissa Shields like to talk. That's the ones that's always the loudest people in the room. And y'all get influenced by that and think that, oh yeah, Baumgartner, her be a good one. Y'all, I mean, when I hear people say that Clarissa Shields actually ducked Alicia Baumgartner, I think your mama didn't give you enough milk when y'all was kids or something. Like something happened, something that y'all missed. Y'all missing some key ingredients y'all needed as kids so you can grow up and have your fucking mind together when you become an adult. Because of the shit, you ducked a little bitch that you're not even in the same weight class with. That basically, out of nowhere, just started calling your name. Out of nowhere. And y'all several weight classes apart. And this motherfucker's not willing to go up to 154 or beyond. But she walks around 154. Somehow, Clarissa ducked her. Y'all tried the same thing with Shadasia Green. How in the hell did she duck Shadasia Green? At what point did she ever duck Shadasia Green? Shadasia Green was running her mouth. She joined MVP as well. And then all of a sudden, now let's start the Clarissa Shields hate. But then she talked, and she got her ass whooped by Franchise. Oh, let's act like that didn't happen. So now what Shields is going to do is I'm going to take the loser and fight the loser. And y'all had the nerve to say she's fighting Franchise because she knows she can't beat Shadasia. Dumb bitches, do you forget Franchise beat the shit out of Shadasia? Then Shadasia struggled to beat a washed up, let's be real, a washed up Savannah Marshall. She struggled to beat a washed up Savannah Marshall and couldn't finish her. Had I heard a couple of times. Savannah Marshall is dog food. She's done. Then you turned around and said Clarissa Shields is ducking motherfucking Shadasia Green by fighting Lauren Price. Sorry to say it, y'all, but Lauren Price would beat the shit out of Shadasia Green. Just worse than Lonnie Daniels did. She couldn't beat Lonnie Daniels, but she's better than Lauren Price. She's better than motherfucking Clarissa. Y'all, this is the shit y'all make up. Then y'all reached and said, I knew something was wrong with Shadasia Green. This ain't the black people. This all the niggas. Stupid motherfuckers. Y'all could tell something was wrong. She had blood on the brain, y'all. Oh, really? So this woman came into a fight with blood on her brain. Somehow y'all goofy ass know it. Y'all goofy ass know it, but her team didn't know it. Well, they shared it during the field. Dumbass. This occurred during the fight, not before. And factually, if this woman came to a fucking ring with blood on her brain and all that, everybody involved that was aware should be locked the fuck up. You're gonna send a dead woman into a fucking fight. And this is the level of stupidity that these fucking content creators show. And their dumbass followers, because the fact that y'all even believe that bullshit. Now, all of this comes down to what? People drawing their own conclusion, making up lies, and just putting out bullshit to the boxing public, and y'all eat that shit up. This is exactly what's wrong with boxing. And if you are supporting Shakur or Keyshawn, you a pussy just like them. And this is the only fucking people that's going to try to take the side of a fucking coward, is that you a coward yourself. Y'all a bunch of soldier boys, a bunch of Rick Rosses. That's what y'all are, a bunch of Nellies. Kamala Harris ain't never put no money in my pocket, nigga. Obama ain't never put no money in my pocket, nigga. So yeah, I go and buck dance for our master. And y'all pick and choose. See, people was disappointed in Snoop because somehow y'all fake asses thought Snoop was real. We knew about Snoop for the longest. All that talking, right? You see how ain't none of y'all gonna go perform for him? Ain't none of you niggas. I'm gonna roast one of you niggas. I be the one to perform for him, sir, right? Like he was disgusted. And then all of a sudden, this motherfucker goes and does exactly what he spoke against. But y'all didn't care that Rick Ross did it, that Nelly did it. Y'all ain't get fucked about Soulja doing it. Nah, because somehow they not black too, but Snoop is. That's my point. Y'all don't stand with 10 toes down. Y'all support bullshit. Y'all hate real people, but y'all love the fuck out of fake ones. Plain and simple. He never wanted to fight Thanos. I'm telling you, and I'm going to repeat it. Devin Thanos Haney puts the fear of God in Shakur and Keyshawn. And not to mention, Keyshawn's fucking trainer constantly running his mouth. Every fucking time I'm sitting here flipping through my videos, I see this dude somewhere explaining, getting mad, talking at the top of his lungs about how Devin Haney will fuck up Keyshawn to fuck up Devin Haney, and Keyshawn better than all of them, and Keyshawn's resume is this and Keyshawn that and Keyshawn. Okay, so you don't think at some point people going to get sick of hearing you telling us how good he is and just say, then make the fucking fight? Why we keep hearing you running your mouth about how great Keyshawn is? We just want to see the fight, right? Ain't that what fight fans want? They just want to see the fight. So y'all now a bunch of divas. Y'all want to see stage plays and operas and shit. Because this is pretty much what they're doing. Best Actor Award goes to Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Neither one of them wanted to fight Thanos. Remember when Hulk wouldn't come out? I mean, you see in the movie, he wasn't scared to come out. He didn't want to come out because he felt like, oh, when I'm Hulk, y'all want me to calm down and chill. But now when y'all need me, right? Now all of a sudden y'all want the Hulk to come out. And remember, Bruce is fighting himself. Hulk, come out! No, no, no. That's what Keyshawn and Shakur are doing right now. Hey, sign the contract. No. Come on, guys. Hey, the world want to see it. Let's go sign the contract. No! They don't want to fight Thanos. They don't want to fight Thanos. And bottom line, you see, people like me, other black people, we speak up for boxing in general, right? As a sport, fair is fair, right is right. But we also understand the mistreatment of black fighters. The hatred, the racism. We live in this raggedy ass country. We know it. We see what's happening. And we basically speak up for fair play for everybody. Nobody's speaking up for black fighters outside of black people. So what ends up happening is you speak up, and I stand on what I say. Now, what they make of the opportunities once they get them is up to them. But it's disappointing to see a motherfucker talk about all I need is the opportunity and talk about how skilled you are and how you want to show that you the best. And now you get the opportunity and you blow it. This man was sitting here. There's an audio, if y'all haven't heard it, of Keyshawn Davis talking about, so I woke up and I was 147 pounds. So I can't make this up. Somebody love me. He thought he said something powerful. Oh, so I'm not even a 147 pounder. Wait. So what fucking weight class? When you were standing up here telling Bill Haney, I want that fight next. You sure? You want this fight next? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what weight class did you think y'all was going to fight at? I woke up and I was 147. Wait, you want to know to show you how much of a bitch you are? Let's be real. That's some coward shit. You skipped the line. This is what I don't even respect about that move. You didn't prove shit at 147. But your mouth is heavyweight. They said, I got something for this motherfucker. Guess who's number one by the WBO? Keyshawn, the con man Davis. Not long as the businessman. You know, you're not the businessman. You're the con man. And what happens? What happens? They boost your ass to 147. You skip that. Hell, but you know what? They do it for MMA fighters. They do it for kickboxers, right? They skip the line and jump in there with Usyk and jump in there with AJ and Fury, you know, right? So why not, right? Why not let an actual fighter skip the line for once, huh? You skip the line and you get the opportunity running your mouth. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we know that you're a bold-faced liar, that you can, with a straight face, lie your ass off. You get the opportunity and you take the opportunity away from yourself. And just like you scared of Thanos, you would have been scared if Tank. I strongly believe that shit. He knew that he wasn't going to fight him. He knew there was nothing, like I said, that he could say to Tank or about Tank, and Tank was going to fight. He knew it. He knew it. If Tank would have called his bluff and said, let's go, he would have weaseled out that fight, just like he did with this one. There is no way. They gave you, they literally, listen at this, young. You know how y'all like to call Devin Haney the email champion? They literally emailed your motherfucking position. He's done nothing at 147 pounds. He's done nothing to fucking earn no shot with Devin Haney. And all of a sudden, this motherfucker becomes number one. He becomes the mandatory for Devin Thanos Haney. And he doesn't take it. He doesn't take it. And he's talking about money. Let me tell you, as I said, let's digress, right? As I said, he would have turned the fight down against Tank. He would have, oh shit, what I got myself into. I didn't think this motherfucker was going to say yes. Now he's going to use his 10,000 without a superstar opponent name or whatever the fuck. Ain't no superstars anyway. Y'all just popular. That's about it. But without a big name opponent, we put 10,000 people in here. I don't need you. That means I'm worth more than what you're willing to pay me. He would have used the money. Why would we think not? Why would we think anything different looking at his actions? He got so big-headed that he missed weight. He knew he was going to miss weight. He didn't burn that weight off on purpose. Unprofessional, feeling himself way too much. Then like a coward tucked his tail and dipped off. Then when he came back to talk, you know, of course, mental health issues is always going to be the fucking excuse with this dude. I'm willing to guarantee you. And if it happens, don't be shocked. Aries didn't say nothing that was so hard, so far-fetched and hard to see. If Keyshawn and motherfucking Shakur Stevenson, if these motherfuckers ever have a falling out, if they ever have a falling out, I guarantee you, all the shit that Keyshawn has done, Shakur will throw all this in his face. Nigga, I stepped aside for you so you can fight him. I stepped aside for you, and you ain't fight that nigga. You ain't. And all the Shakur fans will gonna turn on Keyshawn, and they gonna be backing him up, overlooking the whole time. You want to know what? Since his name is Shakur, right? Yeah, he's no longer Shakur. We're gonna start calling Shakur Stevenson Bishop, cause you know Bishop on Juice was a crooked, no good, backstabbing, you couldn't trust motherfucker, lying in front of people's faces, and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, Shakur done lied to our faces so many times. He's no longer Shakur Stevenson. His name is Bishop. He's Bishop from Juice. That's who he is. He is now Bishop. Bishop don't want to fight Thanos either. And we see it. And I guarantee you he will throw everything back in his face. And whatever bullshit that Bishop has done, you want to know what will happen? Motherfucking Keyshawn, the con man, will be throwing it right back at him. Oh, but you this and you that. And you, but why won't y'all fight each other? Now all of a sudden y'all fucking Ralph Kramden and Ed Norton, the black version. You motherfuckers, all y'all best friends. Man, listen. This is exactly what you're seeing right now. And this is what you're going to continue to see. With all these fucking fighters They want to get themselves in position to not have to fight the tough fights. All it's going to come down to is just basically, you know, you're fighting against a guy who haven't done a damn thing, and this is why they love fighting against foreigners to the country, because they know even if this fighter isn't really popular in America, you always going to hear this fighter has a whole country behind him. And what does that mean? That means there's going to be eyes on this fight. You're going to be the underdog, but regardless, that's even better for you because people are going to want to see you get your ass kicked, right? But that means they're going to watch. I mean, think about this, for example. What did Pitbull Cruz ever do? Other than fought Tank Davis, held his own, Tank hurt his hand in the fight, and it was a tough fight for Tank. And then he goes out, and all of a sudden, Pitbull Cruz becomes this. Hey, this guy is tough, right? And then pretty much everybody was talking about Pitbull Cruz like he was like a world beater. Yeah, he had fights that his style was exciting to people. He's one-dimensional. All you hear is that Mexican style, and just coming forward, getting your brains beat in, and people applaud that shit. But they talk like Pitbull Cruz was that dude, right? Okay, well, here's the thing about that, right? That's the level of competition that Shakur wants to fight. That's the level of competition that a Keyshawn wants to fight. Somebody that they have a country behind them, and for nothing, if for no other reason, they just want to root for their countrymen. But if people are interested in this fight, well, now we can build up a storyline, and let's talk about how this guy from Mexico had nothing and how he slept in a 1-bedroom apartment and this and that, and my mother had to work 3 jobs and had a little sad music playing in the background and try to, make a hero out of this person, and I'm doing this for my country, and that's what it would turn to. And then now all of a sudden the black guy wins, unanimous decision. He spoiled it, but guess what? They hate him even more now, but he's becoming more popular for fighting C and D level fucking fighters. And this is pretty much what these fighters are trying to do. I look at Abdullah Mason. I don't know, much about his team, and I don't know what they talk about, whatever. But, if Abdullah Mason is taking notes, he's either going to go the opposite direction and want to keep, want to fight the tough fighters and be that guy to, hey, I ain't got to talk shit. I'm just going to go in there and fight. And I'm gonna let my fist do the talking, right? Or either he's gonna copy that same, page from everybody else, because this is what these fighters are doing. And this is exactly why you can't have a fucking conversation with another fucking grown adult without them sticking to the fucking conversation. We talking about 2 motherfuckers fighting at 135 or something. Then we start bringing in a 154 pounder, a motherfucker fighting at 147. We bring in somebody else and yeah, of course, Devin Haney can go up at 154. He ain't never fought at 154, right? But of course, and what do you always say about every other fighter? Oh, they go up, take a lighter touch just to see what it feels like. Right, but Dev can go up to 154, right? But you called him Thanos. Well, your boy called him Debo. The fuck? And I'm not making no excuses for Devin Haney and nobody else. If Devin decided he wanted to go up to 154, and just because you go up to 154, what happens? Everything stops. Oh, hold up. Virgil Ortiz, the fight's over. It's off. I'm going to fight Devin. But y'all make it sound like all he got to do is go up and it's an automatic fight. We ain't even got Virgil Ortiz versus goddamn Jerron Boots Ennis, and we sit up here talking about him fighting Devin Haney. If that is what was on the table, that's what's on the table. This is the kind of person I am. If you come to me, say for example, if I'm supposed to fight AJ and then AJ cancels, and then y'all like, what about Wilder? What about Wilder? Well, he's an opponent. Okay. Did Wilder send me a contract? Did he send me a term sheet? Did we have any talks? Well, did you send him anything? I didn't bring up Wilder. You did. What about Fury? What about Daniel Dubois? What about Usyk? You understand what I'm saying? There's other people, asshole. You just decide to bring up Wilder. This is what I'm saying. So there's nothing to talk about. Yeah, I bust his ass too. There's nothing to talk about. There's no contract. So we're not going to sit up here and talk about fighters. I'm not talking about no particular fighter that there's no contract signing. Yes, I want to fight all of these motherfuckers. But at the end of the day, until there's a contract signed, I'm not sitting here giving you material for you to run back and post some bullshit, then twist my words on top of that and say I said something that I didn't say. then I gotta slap the shit out you the next time I see you. You know what I'm saying? Because you sitting up here being an asshole. This is exactly why I always respect the fact that when you talk to Floyd Mayweather and you start bringing names up out of your ass, Floyd, we're not going to talk about that. We're not here to talk about such and such. And Floyd would be at a press conference. Floyd is doing press for a particular fight that he has coming up that he's locked into, and y'all bringing up this fighter and that fighter and this fighter, and like, man, talk about the fucking fight that I have coming up. I don't want to hear nothing about whatever. When that fight comes, then we'll talk about that fight. Y'all don't even know how to stick to a topic in a goddamn conversation. We talking about one thing, y'all want to fucking, let's sweep that under the rug and proceed to something that's not even a fucking reality. I don't do that childish talk shit. This dude is a fraud, man. Keyshawn the con man Davis. Ain't no Keyshawn the businessman Davis, the con man. The con man. Jinky promoters. Let that sink in. And then you got Bishop over here pretending that he wants to fight Thanos. Same way. I'm going to step aside so little bro can take it. He going to say, oh, man, Keyshawn's his own man. True. But that's like, if you really hungry, think about this, right? You hungry. You about to eat a sandwich, right? And then you notice your partner, he grabbing his stomach. Right? Man. And you like, damn, man. Damn, he look like he about to die. And you say, hey, listen, take the sandwich, man. You need to eat. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Tuna? I don't want no damn tuna, and throw that shit off the cliff. You be like, what the fuck you doing, right? I was going to eat that. That was from Martin and Miss Jerry. Remember that Christmas episode of Martin when they was in that train station? I don't want no damn tuna, and squash the sandwich. Yeah. Just saying, right? Yeah. You mean tell me Shakur ain't like, yo, you mean tell me Bishop ain't like, hey, yo, why you back out the fight, man? If that's what really happened, I stepped aside for you so you could take this fight. I wanted the fight, but I'm on a higher plateau than you with my popularity and more accomplished or whatever, and you like, why would you do that? You are demanding a certain dollar amount, right? It's not good to run your mouth about anything until it's a done deal. Now we know the fight's locked in. It's one thing to say, I want to fight a person. I believe that the con man never wanted to fight Devin Tank Davis. We can call him the Ninja Turtle. That's what he rhymed me out of and shit. Take your pick, Raphael or whatever their names are. Leonardo. Yeah, he didn't want to fight the Ninja Turtle either. Using his name for clout. And honestly, the best thing that happened to Keyshawn was the worst thing. That they was able to get 10,000 people in there. Because now he think his shit don't stink and he can play games and like I said, take the easy route. And let me tell y'all something, man. When we advocate for these black fighters and they pull shit like this, it's spitting in everybody's face that stood by you. Because, example is something, right? When they have like Cinco de Mayo, all they black asses to be sitting right there in ringside when the camera's on them, right? But then these type of motherfuckers don't want to be, they just want to be a part of something that's already happening. None of these black fighters are saying, hey, yo, I'm cool with Cinco de Mayo and all that. That's all great, right? Whatever. But check this out. We got Black History Month. We got Juneteenth. Why ain't nobody thinking about doing it for us? You know what I'm saying? Why? Nah, they're not thinking like that. Because they don't care. Wherever the bag is, they just don't think it's going to happen to most black people. There's a all black wrestling company. I say wrestling. A''SE or something like that. I posted that shit on another channel, right? Because you got all these black people talking about the WWE is racist. The WWE is they don't push black talent in it, right? I agree with you. I motherfucking concur. But now you have a black wrestling organization, and a lot of you the same popular face, the Bobby Lashley's, the Swerve Stricklands, the Shelton Benjamins. Yeah, they've been over there. Now y'all talking all of this shit about how the racist WWE is and how they connected with Donald Trump and all right. Y'all know all this, but even brought Ryan Garcia out on the episode, knowing what type of piece of shit he is, right? And none of you black motherfuckers are out here talking about this all black wrestling company. But yet you so pro-black. You gotta understand, we go to bat for these motherfuckers so they can get treated the same way, right? And then they get out there and then pull the push move. They don't want to fight. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I know I'm not, so shut the fuck up. Didn't we just see the con man and Richard Hitchinson on 2 different occasions, bitch ass nigga, getting up each other's faces trying to act tough, but nothing happened? Thought they were supposed to fight. Huh? What happened? All they do is bluff. Bark, 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 nigga, while they white daddy stand in the background smiling, laughing, bopping their heads, watching these 2 dumbass niggas go back and forth, acting like they hate each other. All you get is clout chasing from these fighters. That's all you get. Notice, the most unrecognizable one out of all of them is Abdullah Mason. Why? Because he's not doing all that barking. He's not talking shit. He's just fighting, backing it up in the ring. But the big mouth, nigga this, nigga that, those are the ones that these people want to push. Because, like Eddie Hearn always say, I think it's good for the sport. They always think ignorant niggas is good for the sport when it comes to a black fighter representing. You can't even say America. You just put the American flag up and say America versus Mexico or whatever, whoever they fighting. But all they do is represent stupidity because they get up there, do all this nigga that. They disrespect each other. But when they get in there with somebody of a different skin color, it's all respect. It's not the same. They're not called nigga not one time. Bitch ass nigga, no type of nigga. They just good fighters. And he ain't on my level, but yeah, I know. And this is what you get. Listen, these motherfuckers are afraid of Thanos. Yeah, Keyshawn definitely scared of him. He's so scared of him, he started calling the motherfucker Debo. He started getting Friday flashbacks and shit all of a sudden. Hey, he jumped up, get up. Y'all thought that was real entertaining, didn't y'all? Bunch of goofy ass niggas. That's what y'all thought. That shit was entertaining. And now, look at where we are. Could have been 2 black fighters in there. And you want to know what? The same idea that I had about Juneteenth and Black History Month. And I mean, you got all these black men, black women who don't get the same acknowledgement as a Katie Taylor, as an Amanda Serrano, and the best female fighter out there. They want so bad to be able to say she's not as good as them. But nah, you just can't get black people on the same page. Yeah, we got to be a part of something that's already happening, and it got to be somebody with white skin that's in charge of everything and putting everything together. No, we can't get these black people. We can't get rich black investors. We can't get these motherfuckers to get together and put an event together that we know is going to be a massive sellout. We know that. I mean, let me put it to you like this, right? What's the chick name that just beat Sky Nicholson for a belt? Can't remember her name, but let's say if you had her versus Alicia Baumgartner. Let's say, and I can't say Shadeja Green no more because we don't know what she's looking like if she, what's going on with her. But I'm just saying, and I'm not saying nobody that's not black can't be on the card. I'm saying, though, the bottom line is this is an event that's headlined by black fighters. And yeah, the majority of the fights will be black fighters versus black fighters. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say, and you had a Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis. You had you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying all on one card. I mean, damn, when Turkey Al-Sheikh put something together, everybody clamored for it. Terrence Crawford told y'all, he said ESPN was, what did he say? The Top Rank was racist, right? But the Top Rank put a motherfucking card on all y'all want to motherfucking clamor to it. It's just something that I think it's not just the fighters, it's the goofy ass fans too that just don't get it. And then you sit up here and advocate for these motherfuckers and they pull this kind of shit. Well, we gave him a chance. This motherfucker didn't even have to have a qualifying match. He didn't even have to come. I mean, goddamn, let's be real. When Usyk came up to heavyweight, right? He at least fought Witherspoon first. And then Derek Chisora. Then, after 2 fights, he was already fighting AJ. Keyshawn ain't do shit. He ain't do shit. He skipped the whole line and became a mandatory. And he turned this shit down. Check this out. Let's say, for example, Devin Haney would have said, I'm not fighting against Keyshawn because he didn't earn it. I don't like this skipping the line shit, right? Keyshawn already knowing he didn't want this fight. Yo, Keyshawn wouldn't have said, that's cool with me because I'm not fighting at 147 anyway. I don't know why they elevated me like that. He wouldn't have said that. He would have been like, hey, look, he don't want no smoke. He's ready to run. I wanted to fight. You know what I'm saying? But you know what he would have did to clear himself? And basically, that's the only fight I wanted at 147. And that's the only man I wanted, the best in the division, and he don't want it. So I'm gonna stay down here at 140. He trust me, he would have made excuses. What's with him and Shakur? They the best fighters in the world, but yet they're afraid of a little bit of weight. You know how many times we seen Floyd in there with somebody and you could clearly see the size difference? This motherfucker 47, but his fucking opponent, night of the fight, is a goddamn middleweight. And here these motherfuckers in here worried about a few pounds, but they keep talking about how great they are. So there you have it. He never wanted this fight. I never asked to be, the mandatory. I had no idea they was going to make me the mandatory. How this happened? I know I've been running my mouth saying I wanted to fight Thanos. But y'all got to remember, I'm the con man. And Bishop is the ultimate con man. He's even better at conning than I am. We just as good. I learned it from him. So Bishop told me plain and simple, you ain't shit. You ain't never going to be shit. You understand what I'm saying? I tell your mama you ain't shit. And as soon as I decide that you ain't shit, pow. And we don't want to end the brotherhood. And y'all still trying to make excuses for this dude, man. Go back and look at my earlier videos. You heard me advocating for him. Man, I ain't nobody's fan. I'm just putting my foot down with, hey, the dude went there. He showed and proved. Picture Keyshawn. Just picture Keyshawn the Con Man Davis right now. Picture everything you hear come out of his mouth right now. Picture everything that you hear that you already heard him say. No imagination. Just think about everything we've been hearing him say. Ever since he first pretended that he wanted to fight against Thanos. Let's go back and picture that Keyshawn the Con Man Davis that was sitting there when watermelon was sent to him and bananas and all that, and you had T.O. sitting there. Man, wow, like this was all funny to him, right? Right? Just picture that Keyshawn versus this Keyshawn. What changed? Yeah, what changed? It's the fact that he was able to get 10,000 people in the building and thought, I'm this big star now. You think fighters just get $10 million like that, 15, 20? You think it's that easy? They just walk in there with no real resume, ain't really did much of shit. And not to mention, you sold out, or whether it was a sellout or whatever, you got 10,000 people and your home state where you from. You ain't proved that you can just do that around the world wherever you go. You haven't done that. See, paying your dues, everything is in the ring. But the popularity that comes with it, the traveling on the road, all of that shit, it's a part of it. No, it's nobody going to make it easy for you to just get this money. And that's clearly what these motherfuckers are trying to do. Even since Shakur Stevenson beat Teofimo, all he's been doing is bragging, going on different shows, talking about how great he is and how good. But then yet, he's scared of some fucking weight. He's scared of some fucking weight. Damn, I remember when Floyd was like, all he just want is a level playing field. I just want Pacquiao to take the fucking test. I'm going to take the same test, but he don't want it. Damn, y'all make it sound like Floyd was over there like, nah, man, I can't fight him because, he's 2 pounds smaller, 2 pounds heavier, and that ain't fair. We got to be the same exact from the pound, the gram to the ounce. It got to be the same. Fight night, we got to be the same exact weight. If he's an ounce heavier, then there's no fight. Y'all make it sound like he was on this petty shit that these dudes are on. Nah, he just wanted to make sure the motherfucker was fighting clean. Now, shoe on the other foot, Pacquiao saying, Floyd, I just want you to take the drug test. And Floyd going, I ain't taking no drug test. No, it's against my religion. And all this. Y'all have been like, Floyd, if you ain't got nothing to hide, why don't you take it? I think you scared of Pacquiao. Of course that's what y'all would have said. Y'all know that that's what y'all would have said. These motherfuckers run out here worried about a few pounds, but yet they keep talking about how they can beat this one and that one. And once you open your mouth and say, I can fight at this weight, and this weight, then you get called out at any one of the weight classes that you said, all of a sudden, it's a problem. It's a problem. Look at it this way. If Keyshawn is fighting someone and he's the headliner, whatever his price is, right? Whatever the bid is, they're going to take what they give or there's no fight. Simple. Same with Shakur. Why is it any different with Devin Haney? Why does Devin got to give them, got to bend in and all of a sudden they're going to, and it's, look, bottom line, when these people are putting money up for a fight, you got to always understand, they got to pay the undercard and everything. Are we going to get an event that's going to have a main event that people really want to see in a weak-ass undercard? Or are we going to get a weak-ass card with a main event that may or may not be good? I mean, because at some point, you're going to have to start paying Abdullah Mason more money. That boy is in there winning and looking good winning, right? So all these undercard fighters at some point, like, nah, I'm not taking that, man. Nah, you got to give me more than that, right? So it's the type of thing where you might see 4, 5, 6 cards with the same fighters. Back in the day, Julian Jackson, Chavez, they used to be on, on the cards of Mike Tyson fights. Shit like that. And I'm telling you, and then on Julian Jackson will be on the undercard of Chavez fights. So when you look at it like that, once you become a household name, you're no longer taking that money. You understand what I'm saying? No, it's more of a demand. Now you take that fighter off the card, it's like, damn, we got a hard time replacing this person, right? Your stock can go up because of that. Like, all right, we want to get this person on. So they might give it to you then, or maybe the next time around, all right, we got another event. Look, we offering such and such. Now that money that you wanted, you're getting. Everybody is a private contractor. Everybody basically is trying to get their money up, but putting the work in is what I'm talking about. So if a guy has a better resume than you, and let's say he fought tough for opponents, but let's say that his opponents have not been like really well known, but you can look at both guys' opponents and go, this guy been fighting tough for opponents, right? He's been in better, more compelling fights. But this guy right here has a bigger name. What would happen if Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis, remember they were sitting there and Abdullah Mason was saying he wanted to fight him and Keyshawn got in his feelings and was like, yo, but he checked him in front of him, right? He didn't do it behind his back. I respected that because he said it in front of him. But no Abdullah Mason, no Richard Hitchinson, right? No Thanos. Oh, he definitely don't want no Thanos. So what the fuck did this man want? Now he gonna start being a diva. Unless I get X amount, I ain't fighting. Nah. What are y'all gonna say if in his very next fight he fight for less than what he would have fought against Thanos? Then what? You wouldn't fight Thanos for this price, but you fought this guy for this price? Case in point, as I said, Devin Thanos Haney puts the fear of God in Shakur. I'm sorry, y'all. In Bishop and in the con, man. They don't want that smoke. But this dude sat here and made a video thinking he was saying something that was powerful. He laughing and giggling. And like, do you realize that you're the joke in your own joke? I woke up, I was 147. Somebody must love me. Well, you had your opportunity, motherfucker. You had your opportunity. I'm willing to bet you, if Thanos was at 154, the con man would be saying, if he was at 147, we could fight. But he at 154. So wait, so physically, Thanos is bigger than you dudes. So you knew this all along. This is exactly why y'all wait in time to say what y'all gonna say, knowing, let's wait till he go up. Let's pretend. Or while we at the same weight, let's talk. Because remember, when Bishop was running his mouth, nobody knew who Keyshawn was. And when Keyshawn started to get a name for himself, people were still doubting him. Remember, there was a time they fought on the same card, and the con man, he had a better looking performance than Bishop's performance, right? And remember, I said, I'm not saying that the con man beats Bishop. I'm not saying he doesn't. But what I am saying, he had a better performance than Bishop did. So that should turn some heads. And bottom line is, at some point, when you start calling out these bigger names, if the opportunity is there, hey, let's make it happen. And hey, it ain't no wait time 25, 30 fights in. You can't be running your mouth when you 13-0 and then get the fight, start making excuses about, but I'm only 13-0. Well, shut the fuck up until you 25-0 or something. Stop, yapping again. And I remember this is when I brought up Muhammad Ali, because I remember Muhammad Ali was being interviewed. And the motherfucker asked Muhammad Ali, he said, do you think that you're ready for Floyd Patterson and Sonny Liston right now? And Muhammad Ali said, not right now. I think about a year or two. I think then I'll be ready. But right now, yeah, he was giving them both their credit, giving them their props. But he said about a year or two, I think I'll be ready for both of them. Nothing wrong with that. What you going to say? Oh, Ali was scared. He was ducked. No, he's a fighter. A work in progress. And like he said, there's nothing wrong with the man being honest. He said about another year or two. And what happened? When that time came, he whooped on both of them. But he was honest about it. Now, Ali talked shit, but Ali ain't never clout chase. He talked shit because he wanted the fights. Then he got the fights. And win, lose, or draw, Ali came there and he ain't ducked nobody. So at the end of the day, when y'all gonna sit up here and be talking, Ali wasn't calling nobody name, then go fight somebody else. No, he calling George Foreman, he won George Foreman. He calling Joe Frazier, he want Joe Frazier. If he's calling Norton, or however it goes, he fight these motherfuckers. And like I said, win, lose, or draw, you got the fights. You motherfuckers want to call people name and then fight somebody else and then keep lying about why the fight not happening and just talking about what you did and how you did it, how you looked at. He went the distance. I got a knockout and all this other shit. And then y'all want to sit here and talk about how y'all better than Ray Robinson and Ray Leonard and y'all better than all the legends before y'all. Yeah, I know. Based on what? Fighting nobodies. You ain't did shit great in the sport, but you talking about greats. Come on, man. Let's be real. I keep telling y'all, a lot of these fighters, most of them, 90-something% of them, they're not great fighters. They're just decent, good, can dish it out but can't take it. They're not complete. They're not no goddamn warriors. They're not that battle tested. Yo, you gonna beat on me, I'm gonna beat on you. Most of these fighters are not like that, man. They're not. They're too soft. They don't have the mentality for it. And they got the nerve to say that they're better than these fighters before them, but they don't even put the work in. As I said, I ain't even got to go through the whole list, but for fucking Roberto Duran to come all the way from 130 and end up at 160 and won a world title against Iran Barkley at 160, are you fucking kidding me? And you think any one of these, Tank Davis, Shakur, any of you think, y'all think that little pop shot, sliding around, standing, don't, man, please. Them motherfuckers would have all been food for Roberto Duran. All of them. They would have been food. They can't even fucking go up to 147. And this motherfucker went all to 160. And you gonna beat an animal like that? They gonna beat Sugar Ray Leonard? Must be out your fucking mind. Anyways, I'm bringing this video to an end. I said what I said. They did what they did. Bishop did not want no smoke with Devin Thanos Haney. He showed that. He used, the con man as an excuse. The con man wanted no smoke with Devin Thanos Haney. And bottom line, he used money as an excuse. And as I said, he never wanted no smoke with the Ninja Turtle, Tank Davis either. Because if that motherfucker would have said, you know what, you got a big mouth, let's go, he would have found an excuse. and it would have been over the fucking money. Like he's worth more than what he really is. And he'd have been saying, tell me anybody who put 10,000 people in the building without, a big name opponent. That's what he'd have been trying, and people would be like, he's right. He's right. Because think about it. There was no big names on the card and he was able to do it. He's right. See, when you go to bat for these motherfuckers, and I told you, once they get to a certain plateau, then they're like, okay, I don't need y'all no more. Y'all can all kiss my ass now. All right, now it's about my diehard dumbass minions that's going to support whatever I say and do. Case in point, they don't want no work. That motherfucker got them Infinity Stones. They don't want that shit. Hey, you want to know the Infinity Stone that Bishop and motherfucking Carman fear the most? The reality Infinity Stone. Let that sink in. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. You know I'm serious when I gotta go back into my goddamn slogan.